Wilson from uDiscover Music. Now, the last time I saw this guy, we were at a very glam an award show.
I was wearing the suit.
You were wearing a suit, looking a bit different to today, but now here we are in a barn at Ramblin Man Fair. It is Fish. Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah?
I'm still trying to adjust to the weather. It's like being Scottish and in this weather. It's like it's too much.
It's all against you.
But yeah, but we've been catching up north as well. In my greenhouse in the garden, it hit 35 the other day, which was like too much. So, but yeah, but it's great. I mean, it's unusual to be playing a festival in the UK and it's not raining.
Yeah,
no.
I know. It is a rarity, isn't it? It's just wonderful. I'm loving it. Do you feel quite at home here? Because you used to be a gardener, didn't you?
I am a gardener.
You're still a gardener?
Yeah,
you still do
I run
your
a
own garden?
massive garden up there. So yeah, so I'm down here. It's like my wife and I were coming down the buggy around, and we're sitting there. And they got the festival coming up. We're going about. I hope the guy didn't water the onions and the garlic this morning because they're not supposed to be watered today. And I'm worried about the green fly problem that I've got in my chilies.
I love it.
Change days.
I can just imagine you. You'll be on stage and you'll be like halfway through a song, and all of a sudden, oh no!
The brassicas.
Yeah.
No, I love it. I find it really therapeutic.
Yeah.
And it's something I got into quite a few years ago, and it's quite kind of interesting because on my Facebook page, it's like the first time I put it up, people are going like, "We don't come here at all about gardening," and I've developed this little kind of following, and they go like, "When's the next gardening blog coming out?" But I love it. It's like, you know,
oh, yeah.
it's great. I mean, you know, I'm divorced from the whole kind of music business when I'm up there, you know, it's
quite nice to switch off, isn't it?
I like it like that, you know.
Do you find that it kind of gives you a bit of inspiration to write when you completely switch off from music? It kind of makes you a little bit more creative in a way?
Yeah, well, we're writing the new album at the moment, this album called Weltschmerz, that was like, and we've hit a real sweet spot just now where we've got about 60 minutes of material that we start recording in the next week and a half. But yeah, you're right. So when I go out to the garden, it's kind of
clears the mind to be more
creative.
Yeah,
it's kind of right and left hand sides of the brain, and when you know in that side of the brain that's kind of gets locked into like what you're doing, then the creative side gets freed up.
Yeah.
And you know, it's the same. I mean, I found out. I mean, even going out in a car. You know, I mean, I went down to pick up my stepson the other day, and I'd been struggling with this lyric, and I got in the car, and because I was engaged in driving this car, it's like the kind of the other side, the left-hand side of the brain kind of kicks in, which is like, and I came back and I went, yeah, I've got this, I've nailed it. So every time I get stuck, I either go in the garden or go out in the car, but it works.
So how do you write then? Is that you just sort of, it just sort of comes to you naturally as you're pottering about, or do you find that you sit down and need to lock it down that way?
I do both. There's no specific way. You know, it's like I'm working with my bass player Steve Vances, who's been writing with me since the 30 Star album in 2007, and you know, and we're really comfortable. I mean, originally this album was going to be a set of jamming and put together, but the songs aren't such that you can really jam them. So what we do is we build them, and I think, you know, back in 1982, you know, when you were writing songs and you were coming up with different arrangements, you had to play them, you know, and now you've got the advantages of computers where you can like snip and cut and edit and pull it together. So what we do is we create a template, or like where the song should be, and we just keep on listening to it and go like, yeah, that's too long, or we need something there, and it's dictated to by the lyric subject and where the lyrics should be going. So when we you know, it's like, yeah, I need an atmospheric section. This is why we call them rock flicks moments, because it's like, it's a story, you know, and the story has got to be logical and it's got to follow a path, and you know, and we create the template, and then once we've got the template together, then we bring in the musicians and we say, this is what we need there, that's what we need there.
Okay.
And so
I'm sorry, but I'm still a little bit stuck on the fact that you said the song is a little bit too long. You're a prog artist. There is no such thing.
Yeah, well, this album, I mean, the Weltschmerz album, I mean, we'd intended to put it in September, and for various reasons, we started writing late, and then, as I said, you know, we hit this spot where everything fell into place. We suddenly found out how to write, what to write about, and there's 60 minutes of music.
Really?
And, at the moment, completed, right? And we're recording that. But the album we intended to put in September is just not going to be September, because what I've just done recently is like my entire solo catalogue is now out for digital download.
Okay.
And it's also out for streaming. And we decided, well, okay, that's another kind of way of approaching it. So we thought, well, rather than take the usual trumpet fanfare, here's the album. So what we're going to do is we're going to feed it out bit by bit. So this summer we're going to be recording 60 minutes, and then we'll put out probably 3 songs, which is going to total about 40 minutes. We'll go out for, so people can hear it on digitally, and then we'll put out a physical EP to coincide with the tour, so people know what's happening. But the album is probably not going to be out till next May, and because I'm not with a record company, I don't have the demands to release it within certain time frames. It's like it will go out when it's ready. And as I said, you know, I intend this to be my last album, so I want to make it something really special. And because of the subject matter, it suddenly became, you know, all right, well, let's do a double album, and we'll feed the album out bit by bit, and then put out the full package in May next year.
Why is it going to be your last album?
As I said, I'm a writer that can sing, you know, rather than a singer who can write, and I really love writing. And I think, you know, music can become a little bit restrictive. You know, all the best melodies have all really been done, and all the best hook lines and things, most of them have been done. And, you know, and I love writing. And as I said, you know, I'm writing lyrics at the moment that are basically screenplays, you know. I mean, you could easily use that as, you know, if you were to pitch that to a producer, you know, there's some very interesting ideas kicking about there. And Weltschmerz is an album, it's like, you know, rather than dealing with corporations, because it's about pain of the world. Weltschmerz means the pain of the world, NUE, right? And the songs are all about, I decided rather than write about corporations, kings and queens, and how bad the big people are and stuff, I decided, you know, what my forte is dealing with characters. So it's all observational things about characters in different situations on the planet we live in at the moment. So there's one song that's about dementia, there's another song about male suicide, which is inspired by the recent CAM movement that started up. There's another song that's about self-harm, you know, but they're all done in a way that, you know, that it might sound very depressing, but it's not. They're kind of done in a way that it makes you examine it and take it in a different way. But it's all about people. And as I said, I mean, there's 4 big epics on it, and a lot of other bits and pieces of songs. I mean, for example, there's a song called Man with a Stick. My father died in May 16, which was another incident in my life that.
God, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Well, yes, it happened. And you know, I was in the garden, found myself in the garden for like 6 months doing nothing. And I mean, I basically woke up and like, shit, it's November, right? And so, and what happened was that, you know, at the time, you know, my dad had walked with a stick, and I couldn't look at a man with a stick, an old man walking with a stick, because I kept seeing my dad. And every time when you're driving and you got the old guy driving at 20 miles an hour crossing lanes, you know, I don't honk my horn anymore. And every time I looked in the mirror, I'd see him, and so I decided to write the Man with a Stick lyric. But what it is it's about a relationship with sticks, right? Which sounds really weird, but it starts off with the old man with a stick, and then it goes into like how we have a relationship with stick. You know, when you're young, it's a sword, it's a fishing pole, it's a baton, cheerleader's baton.
It's true, yeah, it
and then it goes
as
into
you
skill.
get older, yeah.
And then you're standing there with your hand out, all right, and you're getting a cane, right? And then you realise you've got the power, right? And it's about how you recognise the stick as being a symbol of power in a way, right? And then the song goes into like how the stick is used, like in a South African township riot, in a food riot in Miramar province, in a baton on a picket line, a truncheon, whatever, and it runs all the way through. And then it turns out in the end that the guy who starts off in the school with a palm out, he becomes the man with the stick, and he's the man with the stick who abandons his car and is walking up the road with his stick, right? And that's all done in 6-7 minutes. You know?
Okay.
So I mean, there's a lot of very strong visuals and really strong images, and that's what the songs are about. You know, that's the song just about getting older and becoming less powerful and becoming a victim, nearly becoming a victim. And all the songs are like that. And I decided, well, you know, let's go for a really happening album. And I elected about 6 months ago to go, let's go with a double. So as I said, what's happening, because with the digital catalogue coming out, we're going to put the songs out for download and put them out in stream, and then run the tour. So when the tour goes out in September and the UK tour in December, it's like people will know the songs when they come along, but the album is going to be released bit by bit, and then the full album will come out next May. It's got a lot to do, and as well, I mean, Mark Wilkinson, my artist, you know, it's a huge project for him, and he lost about 3 months this year for various reasons, and he said to me, like, I can't get this album completed by September, I can't do what we want to do. And I said, well, bugger it, you know, I'll put the album back to me.
So what will you do though? If you say this is your last album as a musician, were you going to write for other artists or?
No.
No, you're just going to give up writing as well.
No, I'm going to write, but I want to write screenplays and I want to write novels. You know, there's an autobiography that's not going to be like, you know, a standard musician's autobiography.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot more prose involved and examine a lot of different areas, and it'll be a real kind of self-analysis kind of thing, which might sound, you know, a bit weird, but I mean,
but you'll still perform though. Yeah.
No,
as a musician.
I mean, if I want to go out, I'll go out. But if I want to go out, you know, it'll be as an acoustic thing or something.
Yeah.
You know. But I mean, you know, I'm 60-year-old now. You know, and it's like, you know, it's harder to recover, and you know, touring gets tougher. And of course, the whole music business has changed now in the fact that, like, you know, people aren't making money from physical products, right? People are making money from touring. I mean, the whole thing when I started in '82 was that, you know, when you made an album, the tour supported the album.
Yeah.
Right. Now now what happens is the album supports the tour.
Yeah.
You know, so people make their money playing live, and of course everybody's out there playing live, which means it's harder. And you got to appreciate that, you know, your normal music fan cannot afford to go and see gigs 7 days a week. You know, and therefore, you know, there's not enough venues. So it's like, you know, maybe it's time to just take a step back from it. You know. And like I said, I've done it.
We're going to miss you performing.
Well, you know,
are you enjoying performing Clutching at Straws?
Yeah, I mean, this was the whole idea. You know, when I started, when I made my mind up to retire, it's like, you know, well, okay, there's going to eventually be a farewell tour, and I thought, well, you know what? There's like the Misplaced Childhood album was written as an album. So in 2015, I went out and did Farewell to Childhood, and I performed the album for the last time. This is Clutching at Straws, and this is the last time I'll play Clutching at Straws. Next autumn, I'll go out with a Vigil in the Wilderness of Mirrors album, which is my first solo album.
Yeah. And
Weltschmerz will be on the Clutching at Straws album and on the Vigil tour. And then the following year, I do a farewell tour.
Brilliant.
So it's, you know, I kind of planned it out.
Ever be a Marillion reunion?
Absolutely not.
No. Fair enough.
No.
Okay, well listen, look, it was really lovely chatting to you.
Nice to see you and
Good
chat to you
to see
as well.
you again.
Cool.
Yeah, thank you. Fish, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.